My father passed on, and according to tradition, I had to take a wife to be crowned king. I searched everywhere for you. I tried to wait for you, but I just couldn't any longer.
You cared about me. If you had cared about me, you would not have broken your promise to me. Do you know what I have done to put your name among those who will rule back of you? Do you know what I have given?
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl again, Talk with Persh, and today guys I bring you another beautiful, amazing movie. You guys know that whenever I rave about a movie like this, it is good, okay? So the name of this movie is The King's Heart, okay? And this movie is starring Ruth Kadiri, Daniel Etim, Ujam Chukwunonso, Obi Titus, Anselm Ome, Odogu Buulite, Oman Nadi, Gloria G, Demafe, Alex Ayalogo. See, too many amazing actors, actresses, cast, and crew. Okay, now you guys know, like most times they usually say when there are too many good cooks, it spoils the soup, but this is totally different. Too many good actors, and he brought out an amazing movie. Okay, a really beautiful movie. Now, this movie is practically about a kingdom. Okay, and in this kingdom, obviously the kingdom has a king and a queen, and they've been, let's say they've been barren for a while. They haven't given birth for a while. Then finally the queen gets pregnant and gives birth to a bouncing baby boy. Now, when she gave birth to this bouncing baby boy, obviously it was met with all the happiness, all the glitz and glamour. But then, the birth of this prince brought forth a revelation in which it was said by the gods that whoever the heir of the kingdom is would not be able to bear a child. Okay, now after this revelation was given to the king kept it to himself. He decided not to tell anybody about it, and his son started growing up. Started living his life and everything. Now, while the son was growing up, he had a nanny, okay, who was appointed by the king to take care of the prince. And this nanny has been taking care of the prince all his life. But then the queen of the kingdom, who happened to be Obi Titus, was like, she was a very jealous queen because she felt as if the king was always cheating on her with other women. And she felt like the nanny was also sleeping with the king. So she had like a very she had, in short, the sight of the nanny was like a distaste in her mouth. Okay, so now it happened that the nanny had a son. This nanny, don't forget, they are like palace maids, palace guards. Okay, now this nanny had a daughter, rather not a son. It had a daughter who was born almost at the same time as the prince. And this daughter and the prince, they grew up, playmates, as for the fact that they are like age mates and all that. They grew up and became playmates and everything. But then this girl started noticing that the prince was, he was harsh, he was rude to people, he was always bullying people, and she didn't like that. So one day she told the prince that, okay, I'm not going to play with you any longer, you should stay on your own, so I stay on my own. And obviously, a very spoiled prince, he wasn't having it. He decided to go on like a hunger strike. So his mom came and she was mad at the nanny, for the fact that her own daughter has eaten, but the prince of the kingdom, the prince of the kingdom had not eaten. So she sent the nanny out of the palace and instructed that the daughter, who was meant to be a playmate to the prince, would hereby become the prince's nanny and would dedicate her whole life to the prince. Okay? Hope you guys are following the story. Now, the prince is all grown up. The daughter is all grown up. The prince is Daniel Etim, while the nanny daughter right now is Ruth Kadiri. Now both of them grew up, and the prince grew up to be a very rude, a very selfish young man, okay, who was always sleeping around with almost all the maidens in the kingdom. He was just living his life recklessly, okay. Now, while the prince was doing this, he would always get girls pregnant, and when the parents of the women he gets pregnant come to the palace to complain, the woman would chase them away. The woman would treat them with so much disdain and all that. And one of such occasions, the king found out and was like, they should go ahead and bring who that girl is, the girl that said she was pregnant for the prince. They should bring her to the palace. But the mother sent the girl away and said she should never be seen again, not knowing that there was a prophecy that said the heir to the throne would not have a child. Okay, hope you guys are following, because we're getting to the sweet part of this story. Now, it turns out that this prince has always been in love with Ruth Kadiri, right from when they were kids, and he could not stand any other man being with Ruth Kadiri. Being with Ruth Kadiri, there was a situation where there was a man who was coming for Ruth Kadiri's hand, and he made sure that he chased this boy away. Okay, so now, finally, the king gets sick and he's close to his dying bed. And that was when the king made the revelation and made them know that, okay, the prince of the land, who is meant to be the king, the heir to the throne, would not be able to father a child. So, also, it was always also made known to them that the king had another son from another woman. Now, the king telling them that he had another son from another woman made them realize that, oh, the other son is the first son, and so Daniel Etim cannot be the king. So they now started looking for a solution. This was when they now told Ruth Kadiri. So because they wanted the throne by all means, they sought the intervention of a very powerful native doctor, or Dibia Nkpa as we'll call it. His name was Icheku. Now, according to the ethics of the palace, the prince is not meant to leave the palace, especially when the king is close to his dying bed. So, Ruth Kadiri, who is Olamma, decided to be the one to go and look for Icheku. Now she goes on the journey to look for Icheku in another village, and it was very funny because she experienced Icheku, but Icheku took her money bag and ran away. Okay, he knew obviously she was going to find her. Don't get it twisted. He's not a thief. He knew she was going to find her. I think it was just his own part of being very childish and being very cunning. But at the end of the day, Olama finds Icheku. Olama, who is Ruth Kadiri, finds Icheku. Now, on finding Icheku told her that for what she wanted, she needed to make a very huge sacrifice. And that sacrifice was that whoever will marry the prince of the land to become the king, that person will have to sacrifice her womb. So she would become barren for the prince to become king. And because of the love Ruth Kadiri had for Ruth Kadiri, that is Olama, she had for Daniel Etimefiongo, who is the prince, whose name is Ifeme, she decided to sacrifice her womb. But lo and behold, after sacrificing her womb, she goes back to the palace to tell Ifeme and his mother the good news that, okay, Ifeme could be the king now. And she finds out that Ifeme was getting married to Kosiso, who is Oman Nadi in the movie, okay? And she was heartbroken, her heart was shattered. Ah, everything just seemed to be going so wrong for her. Okay, so guys, this is the part one of the movie. This movie has a part two, so watch out for the part two. I'll be putting out a video for the part two. Thank you.